The next person that we have speaking is Ben Myer. And I love Ben because hang on, itching my face. By the way, in case how many people here, just for me, have had root canals before? Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. For those of you that haven't, every once in a while there's like a zing up in your tooth, like somebody jammed a pop rock up in there. I am doing my best not to collapse in pain. I'm smiling through it. But remember, throughout all of this, I appreciate pity. Okay. So Ben, all right, number one, he caught me off guard. His talk is phenomenal, and I was not prepared for it, legit. I really wasn't prepared for the answers that he presented for the questions that I asked. For instance, what type of music are you into? Huge fan of country music. I didn't know. I mean, not that that's bad or good or anything, but this guy would not have pegged for a country music fan. I've been watching The Voice a lot, though. That has nothing to do with anything. His go-to karaoke song would be Life is a Highway. He said in 5 years, man buns will be considered ridiculous, which I think is legitimate. No shame or judgment to any man buns in the audience, however. Are there any man buns in the audience? Okay, all right, we're good. Then a little judgment. Okay. The weirdest thing he's seen in someone else's home is cow statues. I also am going to credit Ben for giving me the most answers for my ridiculous questions. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Absolutely not, period. The best Wi-Fi name he's ever seen is I now pronounce you man and Wi-Fi. I would be totally interested to hear about the best Wi-Fis you've ever heard on Twitter, #IgniteDenver, @CatAtwell. I'm just back there responding to tweets and drinking wine. More importantly, though, you guys are about to get schooled and majorly educated by Ben, so get excited. This talk is going to teach you a lot. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Kat, for that introduction, and thank you to the entire Ignite team for making this possible. Now, in America, we often celebrate the birth of a child, and we do this through baby showers, through gender reveal parties, through celebrations with friends and family after the child is born. But the common theme here is joy for the child being born. And yet, this is something that doesn't really happen in the entire world. Specifically, in India and in China, they are struggling with an issue of gendercide. And for those who don't know what gendercide is essentially the reduction of a specific population of gender, specifically female, and it normally occurs through sex-selective abortions and through infanticide, both of which are despicable practices and we need to take serious steps to reduce. So today I'm going to first talk about the status quo of these countries and what's going on. Second, I'm going to talk about the 3 factors contributing to gendercide, and lastly, I offer some hope in this rather dark situation. So in the status quo, according to the UN, there's over 200 million missing women and girls in the global population, specifically due to gendercide. So what's occurring? In India, according to the Gendercide Awareness Project, over 1.7 million fetuses are lost each year because of sex-selective abortions that are illegal. Also, girls under the age of 5 have a severe higher chance of dying in the ages between 0 and 5. Last year in India, 400,000 baby girls were killed due to severe abuse and neglect as a direct result of gendercide. In China, there's over 37 million more men than women. 37 million more men than women. Sex trafficking is becoming a huge epidemic in these countries directly because of that. So, there are some severe issues going on in these countries. Even more so, there's some values that are being placed on girls that nobody should be placing on any human being. Specifically, according to UNICEF, 52% of girls in India believe that it is justifiable for their husbands to physically abuse and sexually assault them, and that it's to be expected in marriage. That's a huge issue. That is gendercide. So why is this occurring? First, there's a huge cultural problem where women are simply not valuable to society. Both cultures, China and India, have a severe history with devaluing women and devaluing baby girls. The specific reasons is they don't ask their girls to be educated. They, in fact, argue against educating their girls. So the girls are never going to be valuable to a family. So in terms of economics, not to make this an issue of money, but for an Indian family who has a baby girl, they're going to eventually have to pay her future husband a dowry. And if that husband or his family does not like said dowry, he can then abuse, sexually assault, and beat her. In fact, they can even justifiably kill her if the dowry is not up to snuff. That's gendercide. Lastly, technology is also playing a role in this, as ultrasounds are enabling the black market of sex-selective abortions to run rampant in India and in China, where doctors are no longer practicing the medical profession rightfully or legally, but they're going to the black market to essentially help these poor families eliminate baby girls, and they're getting paid for it. So what are some solutions? First, there are some incredible nonprofits that are doing some incredible things in China and India, such as the Gendercide Awareness Project and Invisible Girl Project. Both of these organizations are rescuing girls from these abusive situations and providing them an education, K through 12, and then also help them getting into college. And they're helping to change the stereotypes surrounding the statistic I mentioned earlier regarding girls believing that it's justifiable to be abused in marriage. They're helping to change the mindset of families and the girls that they're rescuing. And that's a really important step forward. Second, the government needs to step in and make some of these practices illegal. One thing South Korea did to help reverse the trends that they were experiencing due to gendercide was make ultrasound technology illegal. And the reason they did that is because families would use ultrasounds to predict what the gender was and then seek out those sex-selective abortions on the black market. So if India and China can do that as well, and if South Korea has been successful with this, then there's hope for India and China as well. So turning to South Korea and the importance of what they've done, they're experiencing the same issues as China and India, experiencing the same gender disparity between men and women. But the government stepped in. Organizations like the Gendercide Awareness Project step in. And now the gender ratio is coming back to an equal level. And girls are being valued, and they're seeking education. And that's becoming a primary focus in South Korea. So it can change, and the situation can improve. But it's up to us to spread the word and to share this tragedy around the world. So I ask you to stand with me against gendercide.